guy, great guy. Go see him. Okay, so we're talking a little bit about Memorial Weekend, and we talked about Barack Obama celebrating it in the wrong part of the world, unfortunately. But let's come back here to the United States and talk about Trump a little bit. He clinched the nomination, allegedly, with the appropriate number of delegates this week. I think it was Tuesday. He hit the 1238 mark, despite what all the pundits had been saying, despite everybody talking about this open convention and everything going to be a big, giant fight and second ballots and everything else. Well, there's still 5 states to go, I think, to finish this up. And he made it. You know, the pundits have been wrong. So I want to call into Hugh Hewitt's show myself. Right, Derek? You ever listen to Hugh Hewitt in the morning? Oh, my gosh, he's still so anti-Trump. Even last week, I think, before that news hit, he was still saying, it's going to be an open convention. Whatever, Hugh, you were wrong. Let's take a call from Jimmy, wants to talk about Trump a little bit. Jimmy, welcome to the show.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I love watching these elitists in the party just squirm and writhe and gnash their teeth in purgatory because Trump has now secured it. But what I wanted to point out is that, you know, even if it's true, even if what Glenn Beck is saying is true, that he's going to overthrow and suspend the Constitution and turn into Adolf Hitler or something like that, I'm not going to let him do it, and I don't think you are either. So he's going to have to come through us.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Well, people make it's like a calamity that sort of Damocles hang over our heads, and it's Donald Trump. You know, come on. Stop with the rhetoric. Stop with the nonsense. I'm sorry to be people seem to think I'm this giant Trump supporter. No, I'm not. I'm just using common sense. That's all it is. You know, if it had been Cruz, I'd be voting for Cruz right now. I wouldn't be the happiest guy because of things, but I would be supporting him. And for these people that say never Trump, listen to me. There is a difference between Hillary and Donald Trump. There is a difference between Bernie and Donald Trump. You know, look at immigration, look at TPP, look at building the military. Come on, I can go down the list and down it 3-4 times and come with giant differences. Is it still a risk? Well, sure, there's still a risk.
Well, there's always a risk. I mean, what if Obama does it? I'm not going to let him get away with it either. You know, it doesn't make any difference they got a D or an R after their name. You start pulling a coup on the American people, and the American people just aren't going to stand still for it.
Yeah. And you know what?
This is Germany.
Yeah, and I have the utmost, maybe I shouldn't, but I do. I have the utmost faith in our men and women in uniform and the Joint Chiefs of Staff, despite the fact that Obama has done his best to purge some of our greatest patriots out of the military. I still believe that the average man and woman in the military, our average pilots, all those guys that are out there, that they're patriots, and they pledge to the Constitution, not to a president. And right. You know what? They would not allow this to happen. I have faith, Jimmy, that our military loves the country and would not allow that to happen.
I do that. I do, too. And they won't follow illegal orders. I believe that. I truly do.
Yeah.
If something really bad happens, they're just going to refuse to obey and realize that all enemies, foreign and domestic, you become a domestic enemy at this point. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're under arrest.
Yeah.
We don't kill them. We arrest them. We try them. Then we kill them.
All right. So, Jimmy, give us an update. Now that this clinching, is there still something to worry about that Trump's going to be going into Cleveland? He's now got 1238. He's probably going to be closer to 14 or 1,500 by the time California and these last states vote in June. Do we have anything to worry about? Is the convention going to be a no-brainer now?
I think so. I do, because of the fact that if they try chicanery at this point, there's so many Trump supporters within the party that it could turn into just a big walkout, and the whole party would burn to the ground, and that would be the end of it. But I don't think that I don't even think the elites are willing to go that far. I think they're willing to just stick it out and, deal with Trump somehow, some way. They don't want to deal with him because he won't deal with them. He doesn't play with them.
Yeah, I mean, as Obama did his Far East apology tour here, wrapping up his final term, he managed to say that world leaders are a little rattled by Donald Trump and the thought of a Trump presidency. They should be, yes. That's what Donald Trump said. Good. They should be a little rattled because you know what? They've been pushing us around and abusing us. And I'm going to use that word. The United States has been abused by just about everybody in the world, whether it's our allies or our enemies, for the last 7 years. You know, maybe even longer than that. I'll say Bush let us get pushed around a little bit too.
Yeah. Well, that's what Trump was saying the other day. They were talking about, people were talking about that he might get us into some terrible war. And he says, with what? He said, we have no manufacturing. The only people that are making our computer systems are would-be enemies.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to get into a war? We can't get into a war right now. You're crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, that's one of the things. I say this to people all the time, and they look at me like I'm some kind of a warmonger when I say we cannot continue to export our heavy industry and our manufacturing capabilities offshore because, you know what? What if someone does declare war on us? Not that we would, but what if someone wanted to declare war on us? What, are you going to call Japan and put in for an order of tractors or tanks or guns? What are you going to do? You have to be able to maintain a manufacturing capability at home, and even if that means we pay a little more for something, that's just called national security, you know. And for the Republicans to be just as guilty, maybe even more guilty, for offshoring our industry, it's a calamity. I don't understand why a guy like Paul Ryan or Mitch McConnell are okay with TPP because they're going to let more and more stuff go overseas. And we've talked about this before. You know, you're putting training money for our people here at home to get out of manufacturing, train into something. What, are you out of your mind? Why would you want to train somebody out of manufacturing? You're going to put them into finances? If we don't have jobs, who are you going to finance? Who are you going to put the retirements together for, right?
Right. And we have to do it now. We have got to fix our manufacturing base now while there's still a little bit of capital for investment. Because there's almost nothing. And we go into a complete service mode, the way they seem to want to make us that way, there will be nothing.
Yeah, well, and you know what, Jimmy? Here's the crime. This is what people don't seem to understand. So good, you've taken all our manufacturing jobs away. Now we're going into a service industry. At the same time, the Democrats and the Republicans are bringing 1 million new people legally every year to fill those service jobs. And then you've got another probably 1 million coming in every year illegally because you won't close the border. So it's literally like there's a conspiracy to completely unemploy every single American in the workforce. The blue-collar guys, the service guys, the fast food guys, and now the tech jobs, right? H-1B visas. They're giving all our tech jobs away because they can get a guy from India for $20,000 or $30,000 less a year than paying an American.
Yeah, and Walt Disney. Even Walt Disney, for crying out loud.
Yes, exactly. I don't know how many times you've been to Cedar Point or some of these amusement parks. Have you ever noticed that a lot of the people working the lower skilled jobs, they're not Americans. They're not kids anymore. They're like Albanians or Russians or far Eastern Europeans that are being brought over here. There's companies that are making big money bringing these young people from Eastern Europe to come over and work. Mackinac Island, same thing. I went up to Mackinac last year, and every waitress we talked to was not American. They were from somewhere else. Somebody's making money bringing in these people to work the service jobs that our college kids or our high school kids should be working.
Yes, I know it. It's sad. And then when they get done with school, there's nothing for them to do. There's no job.
Yeah, it's very difficult for kids to come out of high school or junior high or college and have a job for the summer. It's insane. All right. Well, thanks, Jimmy, for the comments. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thank you. That's more than I was really planning on saying. Thanks a lot.
All right, brother. Your comments are always welcome. Love having you. Take care.
You have a good day.
You too. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Paul Ryan and his latest attack on Donald Trump. See you on the other side.
It's time now for Wham! Talk 1600's Community Calendar with Brandon Drake.
The Farmers Market at Walker Tavern Historic Site located within Cambridge Junction Historic State Park in Brooklyn, opens for the season Sunday, May 29th. The market runs 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Sunday through October 9th, with the exception of June 12th and August 28th. Opening weekend will feature the historic Walker Tavern and the Hewitt House Visitors Center. Friends of Walker Tavern volunteers will be on hand to answer questions about the featured exhibits. The historic buildings and exhibits will be open to the public 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. May 29th. You'll also want to check out other special events through the summer and early fall, including Raptor Day, the Walker on Wheels car show, lost arts demonstrations by local craftspeople, and a dog show. For more information on these events, call 517-241-0731 or visit michigan.gov/Walker Tavern. Livingston Christian Schools are holding their 12th annual Falcons Cup golf outing on June 3rd at Hawk Meadows in Howell. Register at livingstonchristianschools.org. You'll want to join the Washtenaw Wanderers for a fun-filled 5K or 10K walk around Chelsea on Saturday, June 18th. Meet at the Chelsea District Library, 221 South Main Street in Chelsea, a few minutes before 10 a.m. to register. The Washtenaw Wanderers is a member of the American Volkssporting Association, which is a national sporting organization. A $3 donation is encouraged to pay for materials, or you may walk for free. For more information, visit the Facebook page Washtenaw Wanderers Volkssporting Walking Club.
You've been listening to the Wham Community Calendar. To have your event publicized, email community@whamradio.com or write to Brandon Drake, COWAAM, 4230 Packard Road, Ann Arbor, 48108. Wham Radio has partnered with Club Half to give our listeners a new and easy way to get half off your favorite food and fun activities all over town. Get a $50 gift certificate for only $25. Listen to Wham for the featured business of the week. Go to whamradio.com anytime to click on the Club Half logo, and you'll be on your way to huge savings and good times. Offers are limited, so don't wait to get the whole experience with Club Half.
The Powerhouse Gym name has been one of the top leaders in the fitness industry for over 35 years. With top-of-the-line fitness equipment, fitness classes, and knowledgeable staff, Powerhouse Gym has everything you need to stay in shape and feel great. Now you can work out for 2 months with no obligation for only $25 at Powerhouse Gyms in Saline and Ypsilanti. That's a $100 value for only $25. Go to whamradio.com and click the Club Half logo to get this amazing deal now.
You're catching the drift. Gary Wellings and the Drift on Wham Talk 1600. Call 734-822-1600 to join in the discussion.
And welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to Catch My Drift. If you're looking for a bank or a new bank, if you're upset with the fees at your current bank, try First National Bank of Howell. You can call Angie, 734-449-7242, located on M36 right there at US 23. Great customer service, good people there, very friendly. And you can also go to www.fnbh.com. Again, Angie McFarland, 734-449-7242. That's First National Bank of Howell. They're a great bank. Do your banking locally, and you'll get better service. Trust me on this one. They're good folks up there. Okay, so I was going to talk about Ryan. And one day prior to Donald Trump formally clinching the GOP nomination, House Speaker Paul Ryan launched a new line of attack against the party's standard-bearer, selected by the GOP voters. That's us. During a Wednesday meeting with reporters on Capitol Hill, the House Speaker once again disavowed Trump's campaign pledge to enforce U.S. immigration law. Let me say that again for you. Paul Ryan, the House Speaker, once again disavowed Trump's campaign pledge to enforce U.S. immigration law. Okay, so when we have laws on the book that have been put together by Congress, Paul Ryan should not be saying we're not going to enforce U.S. immigration. Number one, it's not his job. That would be Donald Trump's job if he's a president. It would be Barack Obama's job, but he's not doing it. But where in the heck does Paul Ryan get off saying, we're not going to do this immigration enforcement thing. We're just going to leave the border open. What is wrong? This is why Paul Ryan needs to be primaried out in August. And I would hope that if you know people in Wisconsin, tell them to vote for Paul Nehlen. Get rid, if that's your district